Good evening. Welcome to the March 11th Board of Works meeting. Our first order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, move on to the roll call members. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Sure. Mayor Gentry.
Here.
Becky McClure. Present. Bill Stoner.
Excused.
Absent. Dick Robertson.
Here.
Alan Milburn.
Present.
Thank you.
Okay, and we do have the minutes, I believe.
We do. We have 212 and 226.
Any changes or edits to the minutes from 212 or 226? Motion to approve. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion we approve the minutes for 212 and 226, right?
Yep, motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Minutes are approved. All right, on to department head reports. First up will be Police Department, Chief Morgan.
Good evening, Board. Since our last meeting, the Lebanon Police Department has responded to 652 calls for service. A total of 17 people were arrested for the following crimes: 7 for operating while intoxicated, 3 were wanted on a warrant, 1 for domestic battery, 1 for disorderly conduct, 1 for possession of meth, 1 for intimidation, and 3 for possession of a controlled substance. In that same time frame, LPD took 18 crash reports and sent 5 gun permits off to the state for final approval. On February 29th to March 1st, Gage Pettigo completed the gun liaison course. Going through that course certified him as a gun liaison, and now the training, what it does is teaches the officers on, if they're on a call where there's a gun, on how to recover that gun and keep the DNA preserved and fingerprints preserved. It helps us if we have to go to court. March 4th to March 8th, Jameson Wright completed instructor development. That was done at the Hendricks County Sheriff's Department. Instructor development is how you become an instructor, obviously, and then it's the basic one where he can just teach the basics for law enforcement. You can go for the psychomotor skills later and get that certification. March 4th to March 7th, Michael Custis attended a child restraint safety technician certification course. It's going to be part of our community relations thing. We're going to offer that as our officers go around and knock on doors and talk to the citizens and find out what they need from us, what we can do better. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for Chief from the board? From the public? Okay, thank you, sir. Next will be Fire Department, Chief Batts.
Good evening, everyone. Since the last Board of Public Works and Safety meeting, Lebanon Fire has made 125 emergency calls of service, logged 402 training hours, completed 87 commercial inspections, finalized 9 pre-plans, and instructed 1 CPR course. February 16th through the 18th, myself, along with Deputy Chief Matt Young, Captains Rodney Princell and Jason Adams, Lieutenants Chris Perry and Sam Doherty, and firefighters Luke McQueen, Tyler Rigdon, John Thompson, Sean Yancey, Josh Messersmith, and Kyle Plummer, we attended weekend classes at the Indiana Fire and Public Safety Training Academy. Classes attended are as follows: fire instructor adult continuing education courses, engine company operations, fire ground search and rescue, accountability and leadership, and forcible entry tactics. February 28th through March 1st, Lieutenant Chris Perry attended a 3-day fire officer development seminar. Friday, March 1st, recruits Chelsea Moore, Rafe Crow, and Kurt Keller graduated from the Noblesville Fire Academy. They now hold the rank of probationary firefighter, and each of them have been placed on shift, and they're doing a great job. March 6th through 9th, LFD hosted live fire training at the Boone County Training Tower. Training focused on breaching, fire suppression, search and rescue. The following departments attended the training: Center Township, Zionsville, and the Whitestown Fire Departments. This week, LFD firefighters are completing their annual work performance evaluations. The WPE is a skills and physical aptitude test. Firefighters must complete this 7-minute test one time each year. We also use it for a return to duty metric for people that are out with an extended illness or injury. They have to complete the WPE before they can return to full duty. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for Chief from the board? From the public? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next, we have Parks and Recreation. John Messenger.
Good evening. We've started doing prep work for Seashore Water Park. Our crew's been power washing the deck, getting the slides they tend to have cracks, so we shore those up. Do that every year. Last week, our new dump bucket came in. The other one was cracked severely, not repairable, so we had to replace it. A nice new dump bucket installed last week and ready to go there. All the restrooms have opened at Memorial Park. The one at Abner will be opening Wednesday. Weather's finally conducive, and we have a lot of kids out at the playground. If you went by tonight, you'd see tons of them out there this evening. With the warmer weather the past week, started removing and replacing mulch downtown. We'll start adding mulch tomorrow. Prep work on all the sports fields. Baseball players are in session, so we'll start mowing it tomorrow and fertilizing, getting it ready for that. Past couple of weeks, we've cleared brush from the trailhead all the way to the all the way down the Big Four to Thorntown, cutting the brush back and trees. 2 weeks ago, we partnered with Cookies by Debbie to bring a cookie decorating class to her cabin. Class was full and went very well. Hope to do more classes with Debbie in the near future. Our second round of open interviews took place on March 2nd. Had another great turnout, and thank everyone who interviewed, and we will look forward to a fun summer. We are fully staffed, which is great. Had to turn people away this year, which is difficult, but also a good thing. We will be hosting events on Saturday, April 6th, and Monday, April 8th for the 2024 solar eclipse. On April 6th, we will have a pickleball tournament, cornhole tournament, inflatable games, food trucks, and a live band starting at 6 p.m. on April 8th. Memorial Park and Abner Longley Park will be great spots for viewers. We are offering reserved seating in the Seashore Water Park gates. Just inside, there won't be any water in there, so no swimming, but guests will have immediate access to restrooms, concessions, a limited crowd. With this purchase, you can get free drinks from the concession stand along with a pair of viewing glasses and a t-shirt at each chair. You can also tailgate and listen to the DJ live outside the fence as far as that goes, as well as that starts at 11 a.m. You can visit our website or give the office a call for more details and information. Our 2024 Easter egg hunt is set for Saturday, March 30th. We'll have a special needs hunt beginning at 9:30 a.m. That'll be held at the pickleball courts. It's been very well received. And then the other hunts will begin at 10:30. There will be 3 different age groups, 2 to 4, 5 to 7, 8 to 10, and it's also a free event, and we hope to see you there. Again, Purity Wholesale helps us out a lot with financial donation and a lot of chocolate, so the kids really love that. I want to thank Jack Carroll and Purity for that. Our Spring Pickleball League is set to start on Thursday, April 4th. Games will be played on Thursday evenings beginning at 6. This is a doubles league, and all teams will play each other, no gender divisions. You can register online or by giving our office a call. It costs us $30 per team. Also, I had 2 guys go through the OSHA 30 training. It's a 30-hour class with OSHA for safety and things that they can bring back to our office. They both have their cards. They took the test and passed, so I'm real proud of them for doing that. But OSHA 30 card's a nice card to have. That's all I had.
Thank you, John. Any questions for John from the board? From the public? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next will be Engineering Department. Kim Krulik.
Thank you. Good evening. Project updates are around the city. We'll start in this room. We've now obviously completed all the audiovisual upgrades. We had some training on the conference equipment in the room behind us last week. Later this evening, I do have change order number 2, which is just to upgrade the wireless connection software and equipment that allows for quick and easy, will allow for more quickly and more easily to connect to the screens in the room for people that need to make presentations. I know sometimes you might see myself personally fumbling to make those connections. This should make it a lot more seamless. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade that. It's kind of some older technology, so we'll upgrade to the latest and greatest, assuming your approval of that change order later in the meeting. Other projects around the city, let's jump to Grant Street. As we get into spring, we're getting ready to get started again. Really, we're just looking at the asphalt surfacing and striping and tree planting that should be starting in the next couple of weeks. I don't have a definitive schedule from the contractor yet, but we are, a week from today, starting our biweekly project update meetings with the contractor, so we'll see more of a schedule at the next meeting. Phase 2 of Grant Street, all but one right-of-way purchase offer has now been accepted, so we're just waiting on the final one, and then we will have our land improvement and damages report sent off to NDOT, that will then be involved with some grant funding that we'll use for the actual closings of all those properties. We are scheduled to receive 80% of the funding for the right-of-way acquisition from the state. Let's see, other road projects that we're actively tracking. Riley Road, there's work going on over there, not by the city or by our contractors, but CenterPoint Energy Group is out there relocating the gas main that will free up our construction. They are actually scheduled to complete that work this week, and then our contractors will be in after that. We're already approving shop drawings so we can get them started. So I don't have a definitive schedule on when our contractors will be on site at this point, but should be in a couple of weeks once CenterPoint is out of the way and we have all that documentation finalized between us and CenterPoint. Fordyce Road. Fordyce Street, obviously that is our really large construction project getting ready to kick off in the next couple of weeks. It's a reminder, everyone, it's basically an $8.2 million project. At this point, everything is under contract. All of our consultants, all of our inspection firms, all of our construction contracts are in place. We are working towards a public meeting that we will have be an open house style meeting for the public to attend, to meet the contractors, meet the inspectors, meet the team, if you will, and get information from them on schedule updates for the year. Tree clearing started this week. We have to get trees down and on the ground before we get to the end of the month, so that's the reason that started. But really heavy water and storm sewer construction, which will be the first 2 phases to really get started, won't probably start till around the 1st of August, just because we're waiting for ongoing coordination with the various private utility companies on the relocation of their facilities so we can clear the right-of-way for construction. But again, I want to remind the public that on Thursday, March 21st at 7 p.m., we will be hosting an open house at Centenary United Methodist. Look for more information on the city's social media channels, and if you do live along the corridor, look for a letter personally inviting you to that event that should be in your mailbox. If not there already, should show up any day. So that's Fordyce Road. Other projects around town. This one has not started yet, but happy to report that our Noble Street project, which included the reconstruction of Noble Street from State Road 39 east all the way out to State Road 32, roughly a $16 million project, received federal funding last week to the tune of $7.6 million. So roughly about half of that project is coming from a federal grant that we received. At this point, our next real step is to have our early coordination meeting with NDOT. on the 27th of March. Keep in mind, this is 2029, 2030 funding, so construction is not happening anytime in the immediate future, but we will begin that process, kicking that project off with NDOT. And that will start a long process of environmental studies and everything that goes into to acquiring those federal dollars. So that's Noble Street from 39 to 32. On that same note, we submitted 2 projects. The other project was County Road 300 North. Sorry to say, but we did not receive a grant award on that project. So that project will remain in the planning stages at this point, and we'll continue on with our other active work. Active living projects, our cost share program, our sidewalk cost share program for 2024 is now active. In fact, we have our first application already in the door. So if you would like to partner with the city for the replacement of sidewalks in front of your property, please reach out to the planning department office for an application to begin that process. Downtown, John mentioned some of the mulching and stuff happening downtown. We're also working in partnership with the Heart of Lebanon on the Alley-Oop project. Primarily, we've been burying some sump pump lines. The only thing really left to do is some asphalt patching associated with that work. And that will happen as soon as weather and the material supply plants open up that allow us to purchase that material. So I want to thank, Jason Lawson and the crew for working to tie that system together and clean that area up. We also will be partnering with John as they're beginning to do the mulch spreading. We've got some concrete repairs around the square that we're going to be doing, some minor repairs, but that should happen early next week. Just to warn everyone, we might have to block a couple of parking spaces just to coordinate the delivery of that concrete material as we make those repairs. Let's jump to park projects. At the top of the list is the Stone Eater Bike Park. Happy to report the last city council meeting, they approved an additional $300,000 in funding, not to exceed, from food and beverage, and that has allowed us to put all of our remaining contracts into play and have those executed. Want to throw out a couple of save the dates that we're working with the mayor's office on, and that would be one is a groundbreaking ceremony as we get ready for trail construction on May 2nd. And then we'll also be looking at a grand opening around the weekend of October 25th in the fall. So right now, we've, as of last week, we completed the mass earthwork finish grading. We're able to get that done before the rains hit late in the week. And we started hauling material in primarily for the trail construction this morning. And we'll have a couple of weeks of material hauling before we start storm sewer work and continue the efforts on the parking lots, access roads, and all the trail construction this summer. The old street garage, the master planning effort to decide what that may become, working with our consultants there, working with the Parks Department. Primarily, we've set the following schedule, looking at public engagement really through the month of March and through the end of April. We'll be analyzing all that public input in mid-April, and then we would look for some master plan sketching to start coming out that we could share with the public and share with you around late June. Finalizing those sketches into concept plans around late July. And then we'd be looking for a public presentation on the vision forward on that park sometime in late August. Other projects going on around the city, currently working with the police department on the plumbing repairs. As of this morning, I understand the contractor obviously has been there to make some much needed repairs and clear up some leaking equipment, but we'll be back for the full project in about 2 months from now. Also, a new project that's kind of came up just in the last week is some HVAC upgrades on the Northside Fire Station, looking at replacing the rooftop units, kind of a 3-year process to replace 2 of the 6 a year for the next 3 years. And we're currently working with our council on project delivery methods going forward. So more to come in the coming meetings. DPW projects, I mentioned this before, we have 21 streets in our resurfacing program for the year, totaling about 4.38 miles. And we are looking forward to hopefully hearing about community crossings, a grant that would fund approximately half of that, which is, I'm tentatively told to look for an announcement around the first week of April. So we'll keep our eyes on that one. And hopefully that will be able to move forward. But we have set a schedule for bidding to coincide with that announcement. We should be looking at publishing those plans towards the end of the week, and looking at bid openings around April 22nd. So that's tentatively the schedule, looking forward on that. Jumping to the Leap District project, still not a lot going on. We're still kind of in the winter condition at this point, but things are starting to shape up on schedules. Witt Road North, so County Road 150 West, or Witt Road, from 450 North up to 47. Really the last things to do there would be the improvements of the intersection at 47 and the installation of a temporary traffic signal. I'm told that work should start on March 25th and wrap up around the first week of May. County Road 375 is really done except for surfacing, but there is some additional intersection improvements and a temporary traffic signal to go in at the intersection of 375 and 39. Similar schedule to Witt Road North, with construction starting around March 25th and wrapping up on May 6th. Also looking at a temporary signal that will be installed on County Road 300 North, two temporary signals, excuse me, one at State Road 39 and one at Witt Road. Both of those are all under the same schedule as the previous two intersections and traffic signals, starting around March 25th and wrapping up on May 6th. Eastern Bypass is also scheduled to open later this spring once we get asphalt surface down, and that should be happening in April. And then looking at 450 North, no really tentative schedule, but that road widening and reconstruction between the Eastern Bypass and Witt Road, that is scheduled to start in the spring as well. Witt Road South, we're currently working with the county on approval of those plans. The IEDC and Lilly are also considering the construction of a roundabout at the intersection of 300. And again, those are scheduled for summer construction later this year. That's all I have.
Thank you, Kevin. Any questions from the board? From the public? Thank you, sir. Next will be Plan Department. Ben Bontrager.
Evening, board members. Planning activity over the last couple of weeks. We did complete 53 building inspections and issued 34 permits. This does include 4 new residential single-family home permits, so we continue to see strong activity there. In terms of code enforcement over the last couple of weeks, we had a number of different activities totaling up to about 100 different investigative activities, ranging from email communications, new inspections, and re-inspections. So still strong activity related to that. Also had 12 new cases that were identified over the last couple of weeks, came across our desk, and those are ranging from trash and debris to construction work without a permit or RV parking, et cetera. So looking into those and doing inspections of those and sending out notices where applicable. Other activities over the last couple weeks, the new Unified Development Ordinance was adopted by the council a couple weeks ago. And so that is now in effect. We just recently got the final documents for posting on the website and printing, so we will be getting those out to the website shortly and do have copies available in the office if anybody wants to view them or needs sections of those. So there are definitely some significant changes there. So if anybody is in that world that needs to understand what the UDO is related to something on their property, we do have standards that we can pass along for that. So looking forward to using that, and already has started using that on some of the recent filings. The Plan Commission filings for the April meeting, we did get a new primary plat and development plan filing from Browning Development for their property behind the Flying J, just west there of the Flying J along the interstate. If some of you may recall, they did already have approvals for that site. They since have identified a tenant for part of the property, and that's causing them to rearrange how the site's laid out. So they are refiling those primary plat and development plan documents to accommodate that tenant that they're looking at. So that will be in front of staff and Plan Commission in April. The Home 2 Suites Hotel has filed their development plan application for a site in the Lebanon Gateway Marketplace. So we have begun reviewing that one as well. And that would be the second hotel that would be approved for Gateway Marketplace. Middle school has a development plan application that's been filed to make some changes to the building itself, and then also more significantly to how the site is accessed and where the bus parking and employee and parking, et cetera, are. So that is in front of us as well. And finally, we got a right-of-way vacation request along of Leisville Road from a property owner along there for right-of-way that has existed historically and has never been a road. So looking to vacate that back to those property owners. So that's our filings for the April Plan Commission meeting. One big change in the UDO is that development plan applications aren't required to go to a public hearing in front of the Plan Commission, trying to help streamline some of those meetings for the Plan Commission members. Those can be approved administratively. So for ones that aren't large projects or would be terribly impactful to surrounding residential properties, we'll likely be approving those administratively. But we will still have big projects that go before the Plan Commission for public hearings. One final item, we've received word from Habitat for Humanity that they have received a new application for the Elevate Lebanon Home Improvement Program that we've started the last couple years with them. They have determined that the individual is financially eligible for the program and are currently reviewing the application for the work and putting together a work plan and a construction budget for that. So we should have a second project identified that hopefully will start here early spring. With that, I think that's all I have. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ben. Any questions for Ben from the board? From the public? Okay. Thank you, sir. Public Works Department, Jason Lawson.
Good evening. So since our last meeting, Alex Smith has completed his OSHA 10-hour certification. I wanted to update again that yard and debris pickup week is planned for April 22nd to 26th. The street department, the crew is getting all of our summer equipment ready for summer. It's pretty much mowers and things like that, the chippers. The street department crew, they put up 4 new signs, and then we're obviously all still ongoing, filling potholes. The stormwater crew, they cleared storm drains after the rain. We're still waiting for some hot mix asphalt service to finish the alley-oop project for where we cut the road for our drainage. And they're replacing the Patterson Street job. They're replacing 3 structures and some storm pipe on Patterson. It's old structures that had caved in and stuff, and we're putting new boxes in. And then the upcoming, I left the lemon brush season, or the lemon brush weeks on there for the year. We did 14 SWIP inspections and 6 right-of-way inspections. And that's all I have.
Hey, Jason, any questions for Jason from the board? From the public? All right, and Communications and Community Development, Jill Page.
Hey everybody, good evening. As you may imagine, the eclipse, the 2024 eclipse, continues to be the #1 thing on my to-do list. We're kind of in the fine-tuning stages, and that continues. Finalizing the mural that will go on in Admiral Longley Park with our muralist. We're also finalizing some TV, radio, and print spots. Also looking at doing 3 different digital billboards along I-65, and so you'll be able to see those in the Lebanon area and also up in the Lafayette area, and also physical signage as well, both day of and also wayfinding to find our 8 watch party locations and other events that are leading up to that April 8th eclipse throughout Lebanon. You can go to the city's website to find out more information. There's a whole page that is dedicated to eclipse items, and it's updated almost daily. We had it earlier today. We had yet another set of updates. The different entities within our community that are capitalizing and having different events taking place eclipse related. So looking forward to having a great event. We're going to knock on wood. We're going to cross fingers. We're going to do all those anti-rain dances, all the anti-cloud stuff we can do to hopefully have great weather during eclipse weekend. But not to look too far ahead, but on May 31st and June 1st, want to be able to bring some updates for our free and family-friendly Boone County Summerfest. It's back this year. On Friday, May 31st, we have the Bejeweled Band, which is a Taylor Swift tribute act. So I know Chief Morgan is going to be all about that one. Maybe not. And then the Flying Toasters wrap things up on Friday. I could say that because he's not in the room at the moment. On Saturday, June 1st, we start things with the Janeways. That is an all-female regional band located primarily in Zionsville. And so looking forward to them. Also, the Dew and Country Summer wrap things up on Saturday, June 1st. We're really soliciting and really pushing for some new vendors in years past. This is year 3 for our event. We've had artisan food vendors, just kind of opening it up to everybody. We're really seeing some fun, new, exciting vendors taking part in the Boone County Summerfest event. We're asking for a $100 deposit to be able to be a vendor in that event. We literally give their check back to them. That's the plan. And when they set up, we've had some no-shows in past years, and so we'd hate to dedicate space close to the stage and not have someone show up. And so we're having you put a little bit of skin in the game, although we're going to give your money right back to you as long as you show up and make some money at the event. So it's kind of one of those things where you show up and have a great time and be able to kind of get your name out there. We've had some success stories of some of our vendors there going off and being part of our Lebanon City Market. We've even had a couple that have had brick and mortar locations. They've collaborated with others, and so we've seen some successes there. So that's kind of on the periphery, a win for this whole event that we're doing. If you have any questions about becoming a vendor or about the acts themselves, you can send an email to info@lebanon.in.gov. Again, that Boone County Summerfest, May 31st and June 1st.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Any questions for Joe from the board? From the public? Okay, thank you, sir. All right, that concludes department head reports. Move on to old business. I have nothing on my agenda. Anything from the board? Okay. New business then. First item up is a change order number 2 concerning the Lasley Council Chambers AV equipment system upgrades.
Thank you. I mentioned this in my report. This is change order number 2 associated with the council chambers audiovisual upgrades, and this is to upgrade the wireless presentation system associated with the room. The total for this change order is $1,550.46. Again, 1550.46, change order 2, associated with wireless presentation systems for the council chambers AV upgrades.
So this would make it so there wouldn't be a big long pause as we're trying to connect to the correct Wi-Fi and all that stuff.
If you are familiar with how you connect to the screens there, where you just hit your Windows button and K, and then you basically select the room, just like you do over there. You select the TV. It will work very similar to that. There will be no, most likely there will not be any passcodes that you have to know, or any software you have to install. It will simply just be a quick wireless connection that you hit with a 2-stroke system on your keystroke system on your keyboard and be able to connect.
Okay. Any questions on that from the board? Okay. Would entertain a motion then to approve change order number 2.
Move to approve change order number 2 as presented.
Motion approved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Dick. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those are approved. All right. Will those be installed immediately? So Scott or Major Hood can use them right now? Or
Not immediately.
Not
no.
immediately? Okay. All right. So we'll get a good test to show why we're changing it. So next up will be policy updates from the Lebanon Police Department. Major Hood.
Thank you for approving the audio-visual connectivity. As a person
I'm
who
sure you
struggles
have
with
everyone
that.
appreciated the most. So
As I say that, we're waiting on the code to pop up now.
yeah.
I guess while we're waiting on this to come up, I can kind of give you a little preface on the 5 policies that I'll have before you today. All 5 of them are being updated based on a May 2022 presidential executive order and subsequent May 2023 accreditation standards issued by the United States Department of Justice. Although the standards issued by the DOJ don't directly impact local law enforcement agencies, the federal action is structured to encourage these agencies to seek state accreditation by making certain federal grant funding dependent on an agency achieving accredited status. The first one I'm going to bring up here as soon as it pops up is lactation breaks. Really, the only change that we're going to see to this is kind of one of the themes we've seen through some of these where they're removing gender-related pronouns. And a change in the code number. Okay.
So we'll just maybe approve all these at once then, if that's okay, because these are quick.
Yes, sir. Anybody have any questions on this particular? Okay. Records Bureau will be the next one. And this is the new content for this particular policy. We're already in compliance with everything now that they asked through our RMS reporting system that we use on there that feeds into the state police. And the state police then takes the data and makes that federal compliant. That was the only new content for this particular policy here, just those reporting items. Any questions on here? Okay.
Nope.
Recruitment and selection of personnel. New content added. Examiner and investigator qualifications. These, once again, are items that we are already compliant with.
Yep.
We do see a should to a shall receive for our investigator training. We've already been compliant with that as well. All of the people that are conducting our investigations or background or otherwise are attending some kind of formal training as to what to look for in these. And as we've seen before, just title change is the position of major of road operations is now just the operations major. Questions on this one?
On the board? Nope. Next one.
A bias-based policing adds going to the title. We have a traffic and parking citations policy that has already been renamed traffic information summons and parking policy. And there's another should to a shall. We have been doing this at least for the last 2 years. This just tells us to continue on that path that we're on.
Okay. Questions on that? Okay.
A final update, custodial searches. Gender identity or expression considerations. And juveniles.
Any questions on that from the board? Any questions? Okay.
I would ask that you guys approve these 5 policy updates, please.
Intend motion to approve the policy updates as presented.
Make a motion that we approve the policy update for the Lebanon Police Department as presented.
Motion, is there a second? Second from Judge. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Thank you, Major. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes what I have for new business. Is there anything from the board? Okay, we'll move on to claims. Entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we pay claims.
Motion to pay the claims. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Claims are approved. Any announcements or discussion? Okay. Would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Dick. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, our next Board of Works meeting will be Monday, March 25th at 6:15 PM. And also, as an early heads up, we are contemplating, or we are going to be canceling the April 8th Board of Works meeting because that's the same day as the eclipse. It's probably going to be pretty crazy here, so we are going to be canceling that meeting. We haven't determined whether we'll be rescheduling yet, but we are going to be canceling the meeting on the 8th. So just want to give everybody an early heads up on that too. So with that, we are adjourned.